Hi everyone. And let me move the camera a little bit. There we go. I've been, as you know, if you've been watching my other videos, you know that I've been keeping a lot of chickens, and the whole process of raising and killing them and all that kind of stuff, and eating them has been part of the videos. So I guess my interest in chickens is obviously taken off a fair amount. So I guess being the person that I am, my thoughts on welfare and processing of commercial chickens also has increased as well. Now I know there's a lot of celebrities doing their battery cage thing and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of causes for humane treatment of chicken and all what goes into them and stuff like that, like antibiotics, and the chicken flesh, actually the carcasses being bleached went on processing, and hormones and steroids being put into the food for them to put on weight, and their conditions and stuff like that. So I didn't want to kind of be like jumping on the bandwagon as such, but it's just something that's really popped up with me as far as some advertising that's been going on here in Australia anyway. There's a chicken company called Steggles, and they produce a lot of chicken. In fact, they pride themselves on being the suppliers of chicken to KFC, and KFC always have an ad campaign going on as well, saying that we use fresh chicken and all that kind of stuff and what have you. And then a friend pointed out to me in the fine print, actually, cleverly enough, that it stipulates with KFC that if they don't always use fresh chicken in, I think it was like emergency cases, or if they're out of stock or something, they'll use frozen chicken. So their whole ad campaign of using fresh is a bit of a joke. But Steggles in particular have kind of got up my nose, and particularly because of their ad campaign lately. And they've got this ad campaign out saying they're Stegglers for good chicken and proper processing and all this kind of stuff. And they've got this lovely little ad with this woman who is probably a lovely woman, who runs one of the warehouses where they store the chickens, and their whole thing is no cages here. So no battery hens, we don't keep cages. And they show this little kind of glimpse inside of some hens running around, and it's kind of got that Doris Day soft effect around the edge. So they're only showing like a square metre of a few chickens. So I've thought, well, yeah, that's great that you've got no cages, but they're probably all crammed in like sardines, and there's no mention of the food or anything like that. Did they get eaten? Did they get natural grain and what have you? They do talk about it a little bit on the ad, saying, oh, we pick our grain. They don't talk about additives or anything like that. So I've been writing Steggles on numerous occasions, asking that if there was any chance for the public to see inside the sheds. I haven't even got a response back from them in regards to that. So they're not even polite enough to write back to me and say, look, no, you can't, or whatever, make up some bullshit story about, oh no, you might contaminate the area or something. They just don't even write back, and I've been writing to them a lot. So I've got a real problem with this no cages here attitude, but they're all crammed in like sardines, and God knows what they're eating. So, that usage of the cage thing in society is, most people recognise, cruelty to chickens as far as being kept in cages. They're not really realising what else is going on as far as chicken welfare and their processing. So they use that little moniker of the no cage thing to give himself a good, PR. Whereas the reality is that there's probably a lot of other more sinister things going on. But giving them the benefit of the doubt, I would have liked to have had a look, and maybe then even filmed inside to show what it's like in there, because they're such a huge processor of chickens. But the fact that they're not even writing back to me to tell me yes or no, to me kind of nails their guilt as far as that goes. So I'm hoping that by people writing to them and asking simply, can we see inside the cages, public pressure might kind of push them over to do something about it, or you know, ask them how many hens they keep technically how many hens are kept per square metre in the cages. Now, in the sheds, I should say, sorry. The sheds themselves, now there's no grass or anything like that in there. A lot of them don't get a lot of sunlight as well. So, you know, really, it's like just the fact that you haven't got a cage, to me, is just taking the piss, really, because there's so many other things going on. Now, I'll leave, there's actually, their video is actually on YouTube. I'll leave the link in the section below, and I'll actually put the contact email for them too, so please help me out, and just write to them and ask, just regardless where you are in the world, write to them and ask if there's any possibility of seeing inside the sheds, and just ask them a little bit about the conditions and overcrowding, etc. in there too. And I'm hoping that we might get some kind of response from them, rather than just a flat ignore me altogether type of attitude. So we'll see how we go. Cool. Alright, thanks a lot. See you later.